Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video for August 29th, 2016. So you can see a couple hours after the close, didn't like the recording I did and I wanted to redo it. So I hope this sounds excellent to everyone listening. Right now we have the ES is down about 625. NASDAQ down up a point, looks like masks a lot of the craziness that went on here, which I'll go into a minute. Russell down all of a point. Bonds down 109, big deal that I will be addressing in a moment. Gold down 60 cents after being up as much as $18. Crude oil was up $1, now only down 4 cents. Transport's down 43, advanced decline about negative 508. As I said, the SPX only down 3 after a really wild range in here. Yeah, the dollar was a big deal in here, of the dollar being up 0.75. So I want to show you first in here on how the dollar influenced different commodities in here. Basically, Janet Yellen came out and said that inflation's strengthening a little, economies are strengthening, maybe it's time for a rate hike. The minute she talked in here, watch what happened. First thing in here, and I'll show you the dollar versus gold. But you have to realize in here first, the dollar has been selling off. And gold's been selling off. Very unusual. Usually when the dollar sells off, gold goes up. This time it's not. Gold hasn't been acting right. Basically, because gold has been scared about a potential rate hike. Gold is always, it costs money to hold gold. It doesn't yield a dividend. The reason gold has been going up is a very bizarre reason. For years, I heard gold is, you don't get a yield on it. But if you have negative yields around Europe, the whole idea is gold is better than putting your money in the bank. And that's why gold had this big old rally. If yields start to get above zero, that whole thesis goes back again to the way it normally is, where gold then, it costs money to hold it. The idea in here is the dollar was going up today because if interest rates might pop, it makes the dollar go up. If the dollar goes up, and what you'll see is after Yellen talked, at first the dollar sold off. And then it just went straight up. Look at gold on a 15-minute chart. Gold was down early in the morning, then popped. I mean, really popped up to over 1345, and then reversed to be down all of 50 cents. That's all of at least a 21-point move. Very impressive. As you see, the high in gold corresponded to the low in the dollar. So very much in there that when the dollar went down, gold wouldn't go up. And when the dollar goes really up, gold reverses from its lofty levels. The second thing in here is to watch the ESs. Understand that the ESs had a massive move today. At one time up almost 2187, almost an all-time high, reversed to sell off 30 points from its high. So at one time it was up about 12, then it was down about 16, 28 to 30 points, closed all at down 6. The whole idea in here is you also had the NASDAQ down. This came back even better. One time it was 48.20, got to 47.60, then closed, rallied 23 points to be up actually a point. The key in here though is to look at these on daily charts now. I take off the ESs and put up the SPX. Look at the SPX on the left and look at the NDX on the right. And as you're seeing in here, one of my favorite chart patterns, some people count sheep at night, count money or whatever. I count dojis. I love when something looks like these dojis. These are called long-legged dojis. First is just a little doji. That's a long-legged. That shows a ton of indecision. The key is on Monday. Are we going to go under this? Or are we going to just forget all this and go back at the minimum to this fire line? You don't know until Monday, and we'll see what happens. The thing in here is when you get these dojis, and on the left get this indecision candle, the key is always the follow through on Monday. So I'm very curious to see if we follow through to the downside. I don't have an idea yet. Very curious to see what happens on Monday in respect to this. The other thing to watch that I think is going to be the big tell of whether this gets above its fire line, above its tree line, or keeps going, it's going to be the bonds. The whole idea with bonds is, like I said, about the yields. If yields start going up, then there's going to be a competition to the overall market. One is the thesis, and also where you're going to park your money. As you see here, you're at a ledge. and you have a squeeze. If this breaks this decisively on Monday, it could go right to here. That extra 2 or 0.3% could be the difference that could break the back of finally this huge rally up in the market that we've had relentless since Brexit. So we'll see if that works in there. So in the premium side, we're going to talk about some unusual option activity. We're going to talk about some other specific stock ideas and what we plan for next week. Just so you know, we have the 7-day, 30-day trial going. What does that include? It includes the premium edition. Like I said, a lot more in depth. I was trying to get this up here. The premium videos, much more in depth than what you're hearing now. The chat room where I'm on from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time every morning, where we can go over the market, set up some good trades. A lot of them work great today. We also have the forum, which is sort of a communicator using a message board type of communication between subscribers and between me. We have the meetup where I do about every 10 days an educational video that then goes into an archive, and we've done a lot of them, all part of your subscription. As you see, just a ton of them in here. And the last thing we have in here is the email alerts. I point out unusual option activity when I see it, not just when I see it, when I think you can make money off of it. We have index and futures charts. I usually post about 6 in the morning. Those really worked well today. And the stock trades and chart ideas, usually post about 6 at night. Some bullish, some bearish. It really depends on what I think of the overall market. So like I said, we have a $7 30-day trial. We've had literally over 2,000 people take us up on it. So I hope you can take us up on it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Look forward to talking to you again Monday night.